All right, today we're going to get a little bit more business tactical slash philosophical. We're going to talk about the levels of value and then the three levels of service. And this is a business lens that you get to adopt. That way you can provide more value to the people that you are serving. That way, one, you can charge more. Two, you can have greater impact on their life. You're going to be more remarkable. If you want to generate more business, you must be remarkable. And what does that mean? It's something to remark on. You have to go above and beyond, giving more than they are expecting, giving more than they are paying. You cannot just have an even exchange. If you're giving $60 of service and they are paying you $60, then that will eventually fizzle out because people want to feel like they are getting a return on their investment. That's why when we start to change the lens on what we do, how we do it, who we're doing it for, then you get to impact people's lives better. You get to be around people that love your things and love what you do and love you. That way they are going to attract more people like them to your business. You get to charge more. And I think a goal for everybody in this group and being a doctor really is to have a good life, have a fulfilling life, being able to do the things you want to do, provide the life that your family deserves, provide the life that you deserve for living a life of service and growth and contribution. We want to over deliver every single time. And how do we do that? First, we have to look at what are the levels of value. And this is how we want to break it down. This is the levels of value in the market. And so going from lowest to highest, the lowest we have a commodity. A commodity is something like gas. The value is the intrinsic value that it has, the utility that what it provides. If someone across the street is also selling gas for 10 cents cheaper, I will go to that 10-cent cheaper place. There's no way around that. There's no ultra premium gold fuel that makes your car last longer. It's just there's gas. There's levels of gas and purity and what's also in it. Think of it like nails as well, like nails or screws, something that you have to use as a utility. And the price is the primary driver of where you shop. And with this model, it is a race to the bottom. If I know you're selling nails for $1.99 and I can sell them for $1.89 and still make good margins and pay my bills, then I will do that. And then you will lose customers. And then you'll say, well, they're doing $1.89, then I have to do $1.79 or $1.69. So the price is the only leverage point with a commodity. And that can be with chiropractic. For the sake of the example, The Joint or any franchise chiropractic that's non-specific and non-specialized, and you're not getting a doctor directly for you. It's just a revolving door of whatever doctors available and low-cost memberships. That's being valued as a commodity, not really having any subspecialty or archetypal differentiation. They don't really have a special population. They don't have a special technique that they do. It's just standard quick visits. So that's commodity, race to the bottom. They're going to always be put in the position where they must lower their prices in order to increase their market share. The next one is going to be a product. A product is something like a book or a computer or accessories. The price is still intrinsic and it's set by the market. A good way to think about this is look at books. Books largely are all around the same price range. Textbooks are in the high hundreds to 200s. Regular reading books are around $19 to $29. Reason being is this product doesn't really have many things that differentiate it from others. If I have one book on business and I want to read that book, but it's $89 and I know that this other book is $29 and tells me the same things, I'm going to get that cheaper book. So there's differentiation in the products, but there's really no new ideas under the sun. And this holds true for cosmetics, for food. If you want organic food, it's going to be a certain price. If you want non-organic food, it's going to be at a certain price. The value is still intrinsic and it's not really projected upon as providing this extreme life-changing value. It's just still an exchange. I'm giving you X amount of dollars. I'm expecting a return because I know in this book, with this food, with these light bulbs, I'm going to be getting the utility that I'm wanting out of it. And the next one is going to be a service. Think of this like going to a restaurant, or even going to certain chiropractic offices, going to medical offices. If you treat them like a service, which is a mindset, then you are acknowledging that you are physically doing something to someone. And service can have some sort of extrinsic value. So we're knowing that, hey, I get there, I get something, I leave, and I just feel good. So transactional, different exchange. A level above that would be an experience. An experience is going to be every single part of this customer exchange is tailored to how we want the person to feel, how someone answers the phone, how they tour the office, what they smell when they come in, what happens if they have a great experience, if they have a bad experience. What are the uniform values that are being expressed with this business that we are trying to relay to the customer? We are wanting them to feel a certain way as soon as they interact with us, and we want them to leave feeling uplifted. You can charge a lot for these because people don't just buy things for the things, they buy things for the feeling. So we don't just buy cars to have the car. We buy the car because it makes us feel a certain way when we drive it. It makes us feel like a provider, and we have the room that we need to travel with our kids, or maybe I get to drive fast and go to coffee and cars with my Lamborghini. Like, that is an experience that is tailored to the brand. They're wanting you to feel a certain way. And you can charge a lot here because there's differentiations. And then the next one higher than that is a transformation. A transformation is, I am fully expecting you to be a different person at the end of the service with me. And it could be micro transformations with every single visit that they come to your office, or it could be macro transformations. Hey, Cindy, if you see us for the next 4 weeks, I want to see you twice a week for the next 4 weeks. By the end of this, you're going to be a different person. You're going to be sleeping better. You're not going to have migraines likely, or they're going to be a lot less. Your low back pain is going to be completely gone as long as you listen to the things that I tell you to do. And we're going to start training for that marathon you told me about. Transformation. It's not just transactional. It's not just, I gave you an adjustment, you walked out and you felt better. It's, I want you to be fundamentally different when you are done with my experience. I think of this like the Superman phone booth experience, where they show up and they are Clark Kent, the non-superpower version of themselves. And they get into the phone booth, which is your thing. It's your chiropractic office. It's your functional medicine visit. It's your physical therapy appointment. Whatever it is, it can be overlaid on anything. It can be even a restaurant. You can leave a restaurant feeling transformed. If you've ever been to a Michelin star restaurant, they do a pretty good job of making sure that you leave uplifted and feeling really good. So I have the full intention of every single time someone comes into my office, I want them to be transformed. I want them to be different than how they showed up, because there's a reason why they're coming to us. It's not just for pain. It's that they are not the person that they want themselves to be. They have a vision in their mind, an expectation in their mind of who they are supposed to be, or who they ought to be, or who they desire to be. And they are not being that version, because pain is in the way, migraines are in the way, digestion issues, sleep problems, anxiety, thyroid. There's something wrong. In their words, there's something wrong. There's something blocking them from being their highest expression of themselves. The goal would be they come to you, they're experiencing your staff, your office, everything is in congruence in this high impact version of you. How they are greeted, what are on your walls, how you speak to them, your prices, your expectations that you actually put on them as well, because it is a give and take relationship. You are guiding them through health. You are not doing it for them. You holding a standard for how they get to show up over the next period of time, and maybe for their lifetime, of like, hey, you've been eating this way your whole life and it's time for that to stop. Hey, you've been sedentary for this long. Hey, you've been using these pharmaceuticals. Hey, you've been wallowing in negative self-talk for this long. No more. This is you drawing a line in the sand, and I'm going to help you do it. And when you start communicating effectively like that, you start to build raving fans because you are going above and beyond to get to know what they want, who they are, how you can help them in a unique way. And now they're going to tell everybody you have a booming business. You can charge whatever you want. So transformation is what we all want to reach for. So you are not delivering a commodity where it's a race to the bottom. You're not delivering a product. You're not just selling supplements or selling your adjustments. You're not just delivering a service where they are experiencing you and then leaving. You're not just using an experience where you want them to feel a certain way when they're with you, but you don't want that feeling just to die off an hour later. You want them to have a transformation. You want them to be fundamentally different when they leave your presence, and you want it to last. And that way they can go tell all their friends that this was the place that they went to that changed their life, that everything was going one direction and they went and experienced you, and now it's going a dramatically different direction. So how do we do that? So if we're reaching for a transformation, that sounds good. You're like, okay, great. How do I add more value? Is it more modalities? Is it longer patient appointments? Is it asking better questions? Is it having better referral options? What are those things? I like to break it down into 3 levels of service and realize that we exist on 3 planes. We exist on a physical plane with our physical body. We exist on the mental plane where we originate thoughts and ideas and what connects us to things greater than ourselves, God, spirit, whatever language you want to use. And the last one, we are a spiritual being. And you can take this in the religious sense, you can take this in the spiritual sense, but I'm coming with the belief in this conversation that we all have a spirit. So if I'm going for a transformation, wouldn't it make sense to acknowledge that you exist on all 3 planes? Great. So now, how do I serve on a physical level? Now let's play pretend. Let's just say I'm donating food. That's a physical service. Let's say I'm donating money. That's physical service. Let's say I'm giving an adjustment. That's a physical service. PT, acupuncture, IV therapy. That's all physical exchange. Now, what's nice is that's pretty much baked into what we do. How do we become excellent in that? Training our adjustments, training our precision, knowing exactly what bone, the right way, the right time, the right depth to set it to. You can use modalities. You can, whatever you decide, you're acknowledging that that is the form of service that you are giving in the physical plane that day for that person. The next is going to be mental. So think of this as intellectual service. So teaching them something. You want to teach them something every time they come here, whether it's about themselves, about science, about a new way of thinking, belief architecture. This is the part where you get to be interesting. If you are having boring conversations and you are boring, you get to be interesting with your patients. You get to be helpful in a way that nobody gets to help them. We have such a cool job where we get to literally touch people with our hands and help them feel better. And that's only on the physical plane. Yes, when we do get philosophical and physiological, yes, the brain has to reconcile that the physical body has changed. You are affecting the mental plane. And we're wanting to go above and beyond, transformational. You get to help them with the skills, behaviors, and belief modification to help them be a different person, to help them not repeat what had brought them here. So you getting really good at knowing how to ask questions and tell stories and guide them through specific processes is going to be the thing that allows you to serve on the mental plane at a really high level. And these are the things that make you remarkable. You will be remarkable if you are interesting and you are able to be a doctor educator. It literally means teacher. So why not get really good at teaching? And the last one, spiritual service. Did they leave feeling uplifted? What does that mean? Sometimes people leave in worse pain. So if you are only going off of physical pain and whether or not you did a good job, then you are going to be in a world of hurt if that's the only metric you're looking at. I define spiritual service as purely, did they leave better than when they first met me? And it could be, did they leave with a deeper belief that they can actually heal, that they know how to make powerful decisions? Did they leave with a better belief on whether or not their health comes from the inside out? they can leave feeling better with the actual uplifted zest and charge for life. It doesn't always have to be a physical dampening of pain. So now I'm going to do my best to always end things on the positive. Like, hey, proud of you. You're doing the hard work. Let's keep at this, keep icing, keep eating well. Just know that this is the worst part that we're ever going to be at. It's never going to be this bad ever again. Learning how to coach people through the emotionally hard times, because they are sometimes not going to want to continue. They are sometimes going to want to give up, or all the demands of their home and their life and their family, their jobs, their travel are all going to be heavy. And if you can acknowledge that, like, hey, I'm here with you. You're not doing this alone. Like, just know that there is a critical mass of this. We can keep moving this the right direction. And it requires both of us to stay in momentum. And just that style of coaching, knowing that I'm trying to increase this person's belief or increase this person's well-being, acknowledging that that feeds the spirit, which will then trickle down to the mind, which will then trickle down to the body. And we can go up and down talking about physiological pathways on why this works. And then we get philosophical of, hey, you're communicating with spirit and your spiritual DNA is perfect. And the only disconnection can happen in the brain or happen in the body. And if we are trying to reestablish that connection of perfect expression, then we need to get things out of the way that are in the mind and get things out of the way that are in the spine, and then they will heal. And reigniting that spiritual flow gets to be something that we philosophically take on and also tactically and strategically take on. This is all real. And if you're looking to provide a transformation service where you charge whatever you want to charge, then I am acknowledging I'm serving them on the physical plane, I'm serving them on the intellectual plane, and I'm serving them on the spiritual plane. And that way they are going to leave whatever they paid. They paid 60, 80, 100, 200, $500 for a visit. They are going to leave feeling rich, like they got so much more for their dollar. Let me know if this style of lecture was helpful, and drop a comment. What did you get out of it? How are you going to apply it this week, today? I'd love to see this group bouncing ideas so we're all sharpening each other. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.